there. And what we're seeing it with the rising costs as well, to give them something affordable,
yes,
reliable, but at the same time with a value-added solution.
Let's talk about the brand and the fact that for many, many years, Leyland was a brand that was essentially Kenyan, East African, and I think that was right in the face of many, many people. I would say many, many people of a certain age today.
Absolutely.
And this was acquired by the Indian corporation. Maybe you can talk to us about that. And we now have this in the country. The relationship in the mind then would be that assurance of quality then and the love that people had for the brand would be translated to that today. How has this sort of transition of the brand been, and how has that percolated into what we have today?
Well, you clearly well said that it's very famously known in the previous times as Leyland.
Yes.
And when the Indian group took Ashok, actually Ashok, it started as Ashok Motors.
Yes.
They were the dealers of Aston Martin in India.
Yes.
And then they merged and took over the Leyland brand and technology. It became Ashok Leyland, and been in existence for the past 75 years. And it's owned 100% by the prestigious Hinduja Group, which is a world-famous conglomerate in one of the largest groups in India as well.
Yes.
So their focus is a lot on, they're currently the world's largest supplier of defensive vehicles, okay, and the 7th largest supplier of commercial vehicles in the world, and also the 4th largest supplier of buses, and currently market leaders in the Gulf countries as well. So bringing this, we not only offer in Kenya market, mostly we are very well known for the tipper in the construction industry, but the range is very vast. We start from the 2-ton truck and all the way to the construction tipper as well, to catering for every segment, for the individual, for the SME, for the corporates, for the transporters, for the SACCOs, to give them a solution for all their business needs.
So how long have you been in the market, and what sort of challenges have you faced coming in, especially in view of entrenched brands and knowing that sometimes the sort of competitive nature and dominant players in the market that we have in some instances? What are the challenges you face so far?
Of course, we have, there are prestigious brands in the market that are premium brands that have always been very well captured in terms of market leadership.
Yes.
And challenges are there in terms of, brand acceptance and penetration. But at the end of the day, the confidence lies in what you're trying to offer to the customer, the solution that you're doing.
Yes.
It is the only brand currently right now in the commercial segment that plays with a warranty of 5 years or 500,000 kilometers. And that is the confidence that the customer needs.
Yes.
On top of that, financial partnerships are very important.
Yes.
And right now, the banks and financial institutions also play a very big part. And as we said, the challenges we have is also availability of cash flow. So customers need a very good product, but at the same time, it's affordable. So we come into that segment and say that, okay, here we have a very quality product with a premium warranty. At the same time, we can it can do the purpose, and it can give you the lifetime that you need to serve your purpose.
Yes. So one of the things customers look at, especially the price-conscious, rugged kind of business that is out there in the middle, remote parts of the country, is the fact that if I bring in this vehicle and I have a challenge, the local mechanic should be able to fix this, or I should be able to access service in a convenient, timely manner. So do you have that out within the country in places which would be able to service these sorts of customers?
Absolutely. And as I said, Deluxe is part of Simba Corporation. We have branches and a very vast dealer network across the country. We also offer leasing programs as well, and working with the different banks. We also supply to the government. It is a factor that we look at because without selling a vehicle is easy. But what's the most important thing is the support. The support is very critical, like the way you said, the vehicle should not break down.
Yes.
Because we have small individuals, we have SMEs, we have big institutions who supply across the country. And uptime is absolutely very important.
Yes.
So that is a key factor for us, and that service is available across the country.
Who would be the ideal customer that you're looking at? If you were to paint a picture of the person who would buy the stuff that you're selling, what does that person look like today?
For me, it is anyone and everyone, and somebody who wants to make, who wants to have value out of their business,
Yes.
who wants a contribution for their own stuff, be it someone in the farming segment, be it in the hardware, in the construction, in distribution segment. Anyone and everyone is important for us. Yeah.
You've seen the summit where we've just been at the University of Nairobi. If you were to speak to the businesses, the businessmen who are exhibiting at that event, lots of SMEs, what would you say to them?
I would say to them that, value add is very important. At the same time, we always look at how we can achieve total cost of ownership, because at the same time, when we are trying to give priority to small, medium enterprises, for them to see the growth that it is there. They're very important in the value chain and the life cycle of any product that we are working on. And for them, it's important to also have partners that are valuable for their growth as well, and something that contributes, that is affordable for them, but at the same time helps them in their growth in terms of the transportation and logistics side.
So when you look at the sorts of businesses that we're speaking about, they've faced tough times. We've seen them get buffeted by not just increased taxation, but by the rise of inputs, because some of them are working with goods that have to be imported and that sort of thing. How would having one of your products contribute to their bottom line in a way that reduces the stress that they have, and in a way that makes them think that this is one less stress that has been taken off my plate?
Okay, because transport plays an important part. Most of the items are, as you said, imported, coming directly to the port, and the goods transport play an important part all the way to the locations. Our products are assembled locally, and that is why we encourage buy Kenya, build Kenya as well. And in terms of that, the factor also attributes to the costing of the unit. And with giving good financial proposal, that can help them, come to an affordable kind of final, packaging in terms of the offer to final product.
So with that in mind, then, what are the three? Would you say are the three top drivers of your market? What are the things that people are looking at when they're out there saying, "I want to buy a truck, I want to buy a bus"? What sort of dynamics are they examining?
Of course, the first thing very key is affordability. That's the key factor that we have seen, that what customers look at. Then they also look at reliability. Okay, is the product reliable? Are we ready to go for that product? Is it, the service network, do we get support for that? And finally, I think we will look at the durability. Is it durable? Can it give me the service? And that is why we have so much confidence in the product, that the warranty is there for 5 years or 500,000 kilometers.
So when then you look at the impact that the economy has had on the market, talk to us about that. We've seen a bit of shrinkage. How is that being felt across the industry, and in particular where you sit?
It is, you can see, if you look at the numbers compared from 2022 to 2023, there has been a 15% reduction in terms of the total general market output to the Kenya Motor Vehicle Report. And this shows that definitely, because of the challenges that you mentioned, macro challenges and all that, that has led to some of the purchase decisions be affected. And I think we are also looking, the start of this year has been slightly stagnant, very slow as well. But we see, and that is where we want to take advantage of that factor, because we come in at that point that you can be at a level where you can get a similar quality level, but at much affordable price. And that is where we are targeting our product base at.
So then, if you were to talk to the decision makers about the challenges that you, the industry, and your consumer are facing, what then would be your call to them to intervene and make things easy? Because I've had people say all sorts of things. We have the people who say Serikali's idea, that sort of thing. But in reality, are there policy interventions that you feel that can be put in place to help you kickstart the industry once again?
Yes, of course. You see, biggest challenge right now is, of course, there's a lot of projects that the government is signing out. Infrastructure development, we've seen all those projects being opened up. And if that can allow the flow of projects and approvals to be based on, and the government and to release the funds, and that can again increase the business for new vehicles, which can bring back us to the level that what we are at in terms of the motor vehicle segment.
But then what happens when government does sign a deal and you see a lot of what we are doing is now essentially Chinese, so that if we're saying we're building a road, building a bridge, building a railway, but then the contractor brings in vehicles from China, brings in materials from China, do you think a clause that enables local sourcing of some of these things would improve business?
I think that is a valid point, and I think that can be something that it will be very helpful if we can look at local dealerships or distributorships
local
that can
content, yes.
local content, and and I think that has already been there, but in terms of the road construction,
yes,
it would be a blessing, and especially for the vehicles that are assembled locally, should be a minimum requirement.
Yes,
I think that I agree with you on that. Yeah.
So when you then look at the investment that you've put into local assembly,
Yes.
I think then the basic would be that even at county levels, we are still seeing the same thing, because even when you think about counties and the contracts that they give out, the roads boards and those sorts of things, still we've talked about local content in terms of growing local skills, still very low. Yeah. Local content in terms of sourcing, still very low. In fact, I think the only thing that is local is the marrow.
Yeah.
So then, do you think a real policy discussion about how to achieve this would be useful? Essentially, from the point of view that, because some would argue there is no local capacity, they will say maybe this is not at the same technical level as the material we're bringing. How do we then have those discussions and say that we need to start having a conversation about local content in a real way? Okay,
actually, we have already a forum for that. We have the Kenya Motor Vehicle Industry, which is basically gives the analytical support and also information, and based on local assembly, the types of emissions, vehicles that we need to bring into the country. So there is already the support, which we are also part of, and a lot of other stakeholders in the motor vehicle industry are trying to lobby to make sure that we do get a part of this business that the local content supports. The good thing is that the government actually has created that local content where imports are usually taxed at it.
Yes.
Where with local assembly, we get the benefit of that.
Yes.
And but now we're trying to lobby is when these projects come in, the development comes in, is when this priority should be given to local assembly units. Yes.
Let's talk now then about health, the environment, finally, and emissions. Lots of imported trucks in the region, and the fact of the matter has been that we see emissions, the diesel that these vehicles burn. What's the difference in emissions between what you're proposing as a product and what we have, the second-hand imports? Briefly.
So currently what we have already moved to, some of our products have already moved to Euro 4, which is the minimum level standard.
Yes.
It's a very high level emission compared to what is in the market. We've started from Euro 3, and most of what is in the market is actually Euro 2 or Euro 3. Some are even Euro 0, which is very low level of emission level. Yes. And the advantage with the Euro 4 emission is that it's a sustainable future, Yes. We are, and Ashok, Leyland and Deluxe, we believe in offering that as our solution.
Okay, indeed. Thank you very much for your time. So we are at the end of our conversation, but of course to say that because of the initiatives we have, like what we are doing at the University of Nairobi, we'll definitely be engaging you in the future to take that conversation forward. So asante sana, Mr. Mohamed Varsani, CCO at Deluxe Truck and Bus East Africa. Well, that brings us to the end of our conversation today here on Business Today. But of course, to remind you that we have the rest of the week to bring you updates from Spain, where my colleague is hard at work gathering more information for tomorrow, and to bring you stories that will bring you up to speed on what is happening in the world of business. From us here in studio, it is Kwaheri. My name is Peter Akaba, and do have yourself the rest of a good afternoon.
Other threats include rising needs for imports, Public concerns around milk